Well, hello. It's Friday night and it's late night with Nana. And our topic tonight is actually if you're going on a trip, what would you take? Now, there was a game when we grew up that it was going on a trip, what would you take? And I'd take this, and the person would remember, I'd take this, and I'd do this. But when you get older, this can be a true thing. And Teresa, hello, how are you? I'll talk to you about that, about you later. And Cheryl, hello. And it looks like there's about 10 people in here tonight already. And it is late night, 11 o'clock. That's even with me doing it at 8 o'clock. But now I am Pacific time. So 8, 10, 11, you're in Central time. So, but it's been a good week. It's been busy, but good. I did get my little necklace. Let me take that off. See if I can get it so that the camera can see it. This is my necklace that Angie sent me. It's got Christian's ashes in it. So there's a whole bunch of us. There's like 14 of us that have these now. And if Angie pops in, she'll be able to tell me exactly how many people have them. And Ann is here. Oh, Cheryl is on Eastern time. And it's 11 o'clock there. 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's right. It would be Eastern time. Yeah. Oh, then see, there's Angie right there. Hey, Ange, how are you? I was just showing them my necklace. And I couldn't remember for sure how many people have these. I thought maybe you could tell us. It's a fabulous necklace, and it's got his initials, and it's got 143 for I love you. And so it's very, very nice and very special. So I've been wearing it every day. Oh, 8 people. There are 8 people who have the necklace. I don't know why I thought there was more. And it's very cool. It's heavy. It feels like metal, but I really love it. And so Ange, thanks so much for that. And Carol is here too. Hi, Carol. So tonight we're going to talk about, I'm going on a trip. What would I take? And I was saying at the very beginning that there was a game when we were growing up. We're going on a trip. What would you take? And you had to remember what other people were taking. And it was just kind of fun. But when you grow up, you are going on a trip. And what are you going to take? So before we start talking about that, I want to thank Teresa because I got a box from her today. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is actually sitting over at my mom and dad's house only for a little while. And I told my dad, this isn't yours because he likes it so much already. He has a little squirrel that comes, and every afternoon he comes, and my dad takes him almonds or peanuts, and he has this little wood pile, and he's set one of the pieces of wood upright, and so he puts them on there, and then the squirrel comes and eats them. And in the afternoon, the squirrel basically waits for my dad, and then he comes down the trees. And I tried to catch him so I could actually film him eating, but I didn't get that. And Angie says, the necklace gets hot against my skin, which makes me happy because I'm always cold. That is awesome. Okay, so this is a squirrel feeder, but it's more than just a squirrel feeder. So this is sitting in my dad's wood pile, and I put it right on top of the piece of wood that he always puts the nuts because I want the squirrel to find it, right? And so there were some almonds out there today, and I waited for a while, but Dad wasn't out there, and Dad's not out there. The squirrel doesn't come down. I feel the love. The squirrel doesn't love me. He loves my dad. But Teresa, thank you so much for that. So when I get home, I have a wood fence, and so I'm going to put it on the wood fence, with the 4x4, so it's really sturdy. And in that center, you can put a screw on there and have a dried thing of corn, ear of corn. So I'm so excited about that. And Dawn is here. Hello, Dawn. How are ya? And let me show you the other thing she sent me. So look at this, a little Christmas gnome. Is that so fun or what? I love it. I'm actually going to hang it up and have it up all year round. A couple easels. And I can always use easels for my paintings. Always. In fact, I just finished another one. I had to have 3 of them done to drop off tomorrow because I'm entering the fair. And so I actually like them a lot. Yeah, sure. I love gnomes too. They're just so fun. And so she sent me things for holidays. So look at here. For the holidays, look at the green screen makes that disappear. A pumpkin. My colors. And then this other that I'll take home and I'm going to hang up too. So I can hook right here. I can hook it onto the fence. That's where I'm going to hook it onto. And then I can put a pot in there. And I'm actually going to put it on my little short fence. It's still tall like the other fence, but it kind of makes it so that, well, it's not as, it divides one of the gardens is what it does. And so I'm going to put it in there because it gets morning sun, but then it doesn't get the hot afternoon sun. And I thought I could put something that vines down and it'd be perfect. So thank you so much, Teresa. I was just so excited, and my dad just thinks that is just fabulous. Oh, and the other Teresa is here too. Hello, young lady. How are ya? No Wi-Fi, tornado warning, or watch. Oh, be careful. Yes. I hope it all is okay. I saw the little tiny tornado in Los Angeles the other day. And I told Joe, we have wind gusts that high in Wyoming. No, but I'm sure it was very scary for, because they don't have tornadoes in Los Angeles. I think the last time they had one was like 40 years ago or something. So I'm sure it was scary for those people. Okay. So let's talk about this fun topic of if you're going on a trip, what would you take? Now, Joe and I like to do short trips, but we don't really go long trips. I mean, we've been to Hawaii and, that does take a while. You're beautiful, Sandi, and do so much for others. Glad you enjoyed them. I love them. Seriously, love them. I showed my mom. I showed some of my other friends. I was just so excited. And Tina is here. Hello, Tina from Pennsylvania. Tina, did you have a lot of snow this year? I know that some parts of Pennsylvania did and other parts did not. Angie says that it was snowing this morning with not a cloud in the sky. Oh, it must have been blowing around off the roofs then. Angie has had a lot of snow. In fact, I feel bad for it that they've had so much snow. It's been craziness. Hopefully, spring is around the corner for you, Ange. Not just one, a whole bunch of my friends sent me pictures of northern lights. My friends from Canada sent them last night because they're up in Canada. And then a whole bunch of people from back home in Wyoming, there was pictures of the northern lights at my cousin who lives in Nebraska. And I thought, how fun is that? I love the northern lights. No, we've had very little, more rain here in my area. Yeah, see, over on the East Coast, they've interviewed people on some, like Pennsylvania. I knew that some parts got it, some parts didn't get it. Parts of New York have been dumped on, other parts, none. It's like, what? Craziness. Oh, Angie says, no, it was snowing. A lot of humidity, I guess. So crazy. Tornadoes going through Mississippi tonight. Pray everyone is okay there. Yes, for sure. Crazy weather can be really interesting to watch, but it can be very scary and very dangerous. So always make sure that you guys are protecting yourselves and you know where to go if there's a tornado or something, because it can just happen so fast. Now, when Joe and I go on trips, because we go on a lot of short trips, we'll go to Rapid. Like this summer, I'm going to go up to North Dakota. We'll go down to Colorado, different places in Wyoming. And what we've just learned on those short trips is a lot of times we make our own sandwiches. You know, we have a couple little coolers and we'll make sandwiches. We'll bring our chips, because if I don't bring my chips, you pay so much money in those convenience stores. You pay more that, you know, I can make iced tea at home, but if I'm out, I have to buy it. So why not have iced tea or water or a soda or whatever you're going to have and not pay as much money? And, you know, you always have blankets, flashlight, you know, things for emergencies. But what if you want to go out of the country? Now, I'm sure some of you have been out of the country, not everybody. I have been just to Canada and Mexico. I haven't ever been to another country. So I've only gone across the border. Sometimes I've flown, sometimes we've driven. But what if I had wanted to go to Europe? What would I need? What would be different if I was taking a trip? And I thought, I bet you people in the chat will know. It was fun to watch the radar for my area. The storm split over our area this year, but a few years ago, we had big dumps. See, isn't that funny? You know, sometimes you have this easy winter. Last year in our part of Wyoming, it was pretty easy. The boy that lives down the street that shovels for us, we pay him X amount of dollars, and he just shovels. And he said that, man, you paid me way too much. I didn't hardly do anything. And I said, it doesn't matter, because sometime you're going to be shoveling a lot of snow. And so this year he's been shoveling a lot of snow. We do a small cooler for day trips because we saw your idea of saving money and time. It's amazing. Like if you stop at the convenience store and everybody in your car is getting a drink, they're getting a snack, they're getting some chips, maybe they're getting a sandwich or a slice of pizza or something, and you just spent $30 or $40. Even with just us two, it could be $15, $20, depending on what we were getting. And it's just like, why do you do that? Why would we do that? But I would like to go out of the country. I'd like to take a trip. I'd like to go to Iceland. I'd like to go to Wales. Any place in England, Scotland, Wales, I'd like to go see. See, Anne says, you will need an adapter for any appliance you have, hairdryer, straightener, when traveling in Europe. See, I had heard that. Now, my parents have gone to Europe many times. And my mom is always telling me about the hotels are not like they are in the United States. Oh, hi, Diana. A dictionary. That is a good idea to take. And hi, Lynn. How are you? Lynn, we're talking about going out of the country. What would I have to bring? And there are not many snacks on flights anymore. That is for sure, unless you're doing first class, which I'm not paying for first class. If I got bumped up to first class, that would be okay, but I am not doing it. Translation app or book if you don't know the language. This would be a good idea. And I know there are some really good apps anymore that sometimes, like a pocket translator, that they can talk and then the app will say what they said. Or you can talk and it will translate it into their language, which I find absolutely fabulous. But I know that I'd have to have an adapter for my phone. I flew in coach class to Italy, and they fed us the whole way there. Oh, so maybe when you go overseas, they feed you anyway. See, that would be good. Oh, yes, I haven't traveled first class. Maps of the area. See, I thought of that. That would be a good idea. I thought maybe most libraries have books on different countries, and so you can thumb through them. Like one of our boys is going to Norway this summer. And how fun is that? I mean, they do know somebody in Norway, but I don't know if they're staying with them the whole time or if they're going to just stay with them part of the time and then just travel all over Norway. I'm not really sure. So I thought that would be interesting. But how would you find, for you people that have traveled overseas, how would you find, say, like the out of way places? You know, the places that don't have all the tourists, the those great special places. Like when people come to my state, there's the main things. There's Yellowstone, there's Devil's Tower, you know, things like that. But there's all these other things that when you Google it, you're not finding it unless you have a specific name. So it's like, how would I find the best places to go? Most Europeans speak English. That is true. But I think it's nice if you're going to a country, if you could speak a little bit of that, their language. Otherwise, they probably think stupid tourists. Traveling maps for sites to visit. Okay. Maybe I wonder if you could Google out of the way places in a certain country or by a certain city. It's good to know a greeting and salutations in their language. I would agree with that. Oh, see, that I hadn't thought about. Money from that country and conversion amounts. I know that one time my mom and dad went to Seoul, Korea. My mom and dad like to travel. So they've been lots of places. And the conversion of money sometimes was, you know, that you weren't sure if they were ripping you off or that if you were giving them the right amount of money, because, you know, when they traveled, it was before a lot of the phones and the internet like it is now. I used a tour company and they took us to the non-touristy places. Oh, so see, that's interesting. If you're booking a flight and you go through a tour company. Okay, that's something I will write down. No places to stay away from. How would I do that? How would I know places not to go to? I mean, maybe when I got there, people would tell me, but how would I know that beforehand? We ventured out in Switzerland on our own. The locals were wonderful. Oh, see, that could be cool. Oh, Angie's got a good idea. Talk to the bartender or waitresses for good non-touristy places. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, because they would know, you know, and they have interaction with all kinds of people all the time. And so that's a great idea. So that would be something. See, when you travel a long ways away, I was trying to write things down that, like, when you're in the United States, you just load up your car. You know, if you're driving, you can just put whatever you want in your car. If you want bikes, if you want tents, sleeping bags. But if you go all the way over to Europe, you're going to have to buy that stuff or rent that stuff, you know, depending on what you want to do. We didn't take many clothes and took a small bottle of detergent from Dollar Tree and just washed clothes in the bathroom sink at the hotel. More room to bring things home. That is awesome. That is a good idea. I know friends of mine that they always bring an extra suitcase so that they have room to take stuff home with them, which I think that's pretty good. Get your currency in the U.S., but you need to schedule it with your bank. They don't all carry all currencies. Oh, that's a good idea because your bank would certainly be honest with you. And I wonder if you have to be at a larger city bank or if in a small town, they can get that for you if they knew you were coming in to, you know, if they knew you were going to Switzerland or France, and you needed different money. I wonder if any bank can get that or not. Oh, Diana says, money in the bra pouch to keep it away from pickpockets. Have you guys that have gone to Europe, have you found that you were worried about pickpockets? Is that something that's something that happens a lot. I could see that my mom, when they would travel, she had this thing that went around her neck that she kept in her shirt, and it had their passport and some money, IDs. So it was, inside her shirt, so she never have to worry about somebody trying to steal it if somebody stole her purse, which I thought was a good idea. And I'm sure they do make bras with money pouches. I mean, they make belts with money pouches, so I don't know why not. Ann says, I live in a small town. They had to order it. Okay, see, that's good to know because I live in a fairly small town. I mean, in Yuma here, I'm sure they would have it because, they have an international airport. They have a lot of people coming in and out from all over the place. And with the military base, they have a lot of people that come in for training from lots of different places. But in Gillette, I would bet they'd have to order it. So that is good for me to know. Portable GPS in case you get lost, extra battery or booster for phone. If you need, if they let you bring it onto the plane. I wonder if you could just put it in your suitcase though, because sometimes they won't let you have things in your bag, your carry-on bag or your purse, but they will let you keep those things in your suitcase. We were warned often on pickpockets to have your purse inside your coat. Wow. Yeah, see, I haven't ever traveled to any place that I ever felt worried, about traveling. So these are good things to know. And Barb is here. Barb, how are you? Are traveler's checks still expected? See, I don't know. You guys that have been over to Europe, did you just use like a credit card the whole time? Did you have lots of cash? Did you use traveler's checks? Because remember, it used to be that traveler's checks were the thing to use. But now that's, you got your, most of the time they tell you not to use your debit card, but, you can have a credit card. I used a crossbody purse with RFID protection. Oh, that's good. Also, let your credit card company you are traveling out of the country. Good to know, because otherwise you might try to use it and they think it's a fraud thing. Oh, Anne's got a good idea. Comfy shoes, cell battery charger. Yeah, because we have these little chargers besides our plug-in that you can charge up, and then you just plug your phone in, and it usually will charge. I think ours will charge it 4 times before it's run all the way out. Register with the Department of State, so if anything happens, they will know where Americans are. Good idea. Good. If using credit cards, get a new one with small limits in case it's stolen or lost. That is an excellent idea. Because these are all things you have to think about. I mean, you have to get, I have a passport, but I think from what I understand, you have to do something that you're applying to go to another country. And I don't know if that's with every country, to get a visa. Do you have to have a visa to every single country? See, I don't know these things. And so I thought, people in the chat will know these things. Traveler's checks are kind of out, credit card, but you have to tell the card company. Yeah, see, I would really think that too. Because even when we come down to Yuma, we talk to everybody and say, hey, we'll be down in Yuma from here to here. And, just so they know. In fact, we've done that when we've just gone to, on road trips that were fairly long road trips. We're going out of Wyoming, just so that we don't stop someplace, maybe take gas, or we're spending the night, and all of a sudden the credit card company or our bank thinks, hey, somebody's using their card. So that's just something that we've had to do. I wanted to show you guys, I finished doing all my apple scions, so I had my scions with all the different kinds of apples and my rootstock, and I finished them today. And so I wanted to show them to you. So it's a picture tonight. It was dark out already, but you can see all of the top part above that blue, the blue is the cyan, and you can see some of them are starting to leaf out already. Below the blue is where the rootstock is. Now, for the most part, I usually just start breaking that off because I want all the energy to go up there. So I didn't break it off yet because I was going to show you the video. But it just shows me when they start greening up on top that it's working. And these are just some of that garlic that I had in the fridge that, all winter long. So I was excited that it's coming up. Some of the zucchinis are coming up because I am going to do a video on transplanting plants, young seedlings, when you go from one state to another state. And so I'm going to do that. Let me slide back up here in case I missed anything. I'm going to take that down. Check for fees for entering new countries. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know anything about visas. Our U.S. passports have always been good. My friend that is a Canadian, and maybe it's because she's a Canadian, it works different than if you're living in the United States. But she's going to India with her daughter and her husband, but her daughter and her husband. He is from India. And so she said she had to get a visa. I mean, she has a passport, but she had to get a visa to go to India. And so I wasn't sure if that worked the same with all countries. I didn't remember my parents ever getting visas when they went to Europe. Are all countries letting people in? I don't think so. There are places that the United States is saying not to go to. Well, even places in Mexico, there's, where all the kids go for spring break. They said that they don't want anybody from the United States going. And Canada has said the same thing, which is, I think it was because those Americans got kidnapped and stuff. So they just want to, have everybody be careful. Diane, how are ya? Made 2 lives in 1 week. Yes. That is awesome. Diane, we are talking about going to other countries. What do I need to know if I want to go to, say, Europe? What do I need to do? What do I need to know before I go? What things do I need to do? I mean, I have a passport. Do I need a visa on any of those countries? Some of the things that they suggested, adapters to your phone chargers, your hair, hair dryer, stuff like that. They are starting to leaf out. I'm very excited about that. A good tip I learned was take a business card from the hotel when you go out sightseeing. Then you can show the taxi driver the card so you know where to take you when you want to return to the hotel. Excellent idea. See, I would have never even thought about that. That is an excellent idea. Travel agent was very helpful, even if not going with a group. I could see that because they would have a lot of information. And sometimes they can get you those deals that you get to see this and that. Now, I don't think I would want to go a whole trip as a group because I would want to do stuff that me and Joe just want to do. Some of our friends have gone on some trips that you're basically doing everything the group wants to do. And they told us that there were times that they just didn't want to go see those things. They had gone to Europe and the one guy says, after I've seen about 3 castles, I don't want to see anymore. It just wasn't his thing. He didn't have a passion for that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I was like, yeah, maybe. Our taxi driver knew no English. So I was glad I had a hotel business card. Lynn, I think that is brilliant. Or if something happened to you, if you had the hotel card in your pocket, when the police came, they could, connect you because you had that card, so I'm back, but not playing. No, but I just, it was just that, um, okay, so a lot of you have gone to Europe, I can tell from the chat. But what about other countries? Where else have you gone to? Like my kids go a lot of places, especially a couple of them. They like to travel, you know. They, they're going here, they're going there, they're going to Europe, they're going to South America, they're going to New Zealand. That's just what they do. And I'm sure they can be a big help to me, but um they're doing much different things than what I would want to do on a trip. You know, they're rock climbing, they're camping, not that I wouldn't mind camping or hiking. I don't want to rock climb though. Alpine Gulch, how are you? Where are you going on your trip? Well, what I'd like to do, I would like to go to, I'd like to go to Iceland, then go over to Europe and go to England, Scotland, and Wales is what I'd like to do. And so I want to know the tips and tricks that everybody has, And so far, a wealth of knowledge. Oh, Lynn went to Trinidad and Barbados. I would think that would be very fun. Love the art picture behind you. Are we talking about this one? Me, Grandma Potato Head. These are my flowers from last summer. This is just a picture in my living room, but those are my flowers. I did finish all 3 of my paintings though for the fair. Last year, because the adults can only put in 3 paintings, and I sold all 3 of them because you can have them for sale if you want to. And I was excited about selling them. And so this year, one especially just turned out, it's right over there. It turned out fabulous, I think anyway. Yeah, a rock climbing trip would probably not be my first trip. Yeah, but see, they like to rock climb. They like to ski, they like to surf, they like to do all kinds of stuff. And so going different places and doing that is really fun for them. It's just not something I would do. I'm going to grab my painting. I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so we have a thing that's called the Conservation Garden here in Yuma. And they have a pond and they have a lot of palm trees and they have thousands of cacti, which is just really fun to just wander through and just see them all. I mean, everything is labeled so that you know what kind it is. But I was over there. I did some sketching, took some photographs, and this is at the pond that I did it. It's kind of wild and funky, but I love it. I know see, the green screen wants to make invisible things where the light green is, but it kind of gives you an idea. I'll put a picture on the community tab, and I'll do it all on all 3 of my paintings that I'm taking to the fair. So, Lynn says, I want to go to Italy again. The food was fabulous and the men are gorgeous. It's so fun. I'm a fan. How are you? I haven't seen you for a long time. I hope everything is good. Seriously, I hope everything is good in your life. Anne has been to Holland, Germany, Switzerland, Bahamas, Aruba, Mexico. My favorite Auntie Peg took me with her on these amazing trips. How fun. Clothing to take on your trip. Avoid 100% cotton. Look for wicking fabric and quick drying garments. You can take up less space and are lighter weight. Oh, see, that's a good idea. See, I didn't think about that at all. When Joe packs in his suitcases, he rolls up everything. So like if he has shirts, he has pants, he has shorts, he rolls everything up. I don't do that. But he says that it makes it so it doesn't wrinkle. You know, I'm really pretty much a t-shirt and jean girl. I mean, I have fancier shirts and I have my flannel shirts and I have stuff like that. But like down in Arizona, I basically wear t-shirts and shorts every day. Unless it's cooler, then I wear a t-shirt and jeans or t-shirts and my bibs. So I just fold them up and put them in my suitcase. It's just kind of fun. It's been tough, but still kicking and scratching. Hope all is well with you, my friend. It is good. Yeah. You know, sometimes we go through those hard times, but it is good. Someplace warm, tropical with sandy beaches would be delightful. I wouldn't want to come back home. See, it's always a predicament when you're down in Arizona because it has been extremely cold back home. Lots of snow, and it's just like, oh man. Anne says, oh my goodness, I've watched a million videos on how to pack a suitcase. Have you, Anne? See, I didn't even realize that there are videos on how to pack a suitcase. But I don't know why not. There's videos on everything you can imagine. Sandra and Sarah slides in. Sorry for uploading. Sorry, was uploading first video. Oh, that's exciting. Were you uploading it onto YouTube? I'm looking. I also took medicines for minor things like headaches, stomach aches, so you wouldn't have to search for a pharmacy if needed. Will they let you just take whatever you need on a trip? See, I figured if it was like medicine from a doctor, you could take it. But I didn't really realize that you could take it otherwise. Oh, one of your sister's videos. Didn't delete. Awesome. I used to live in Connecticut, been to Florida, now in New Hampshire. I love New Hampshire. Actually, I love that whole section on the East Coast. New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. I love that. It's just like so beautiful. I can't even hardly believe it. Yeah. They let you take over the counter things in your check bags. Oh, see, that's good to know. Because like sometimes Joe gets, he'll move his back wrong and he needs a little bit of muscle relaxer. That there's a type you can get over the counter that they told him about that he's used different times. So that's kind of cool. If you check your bags, you can take most anything. It's kind of funny at the airlines. Okay, so you got your carry-on bag and you got your purse. And then but you can check your carry-on bag. But if you send it through at the beginning, it costs you money. But if you wait till you're boarding and you say, do you want this just checked instead? They put a little red tag on it and they check it and they do it for free. My first video, the sister that's 4 years older than me deleted my video. Had to do a new one. Oh no. Medicines you need to check each country. Some OTC, such as decongestions, can be a problem. See, that's good to know. That's good to know. Well, you guys have just been a wealth of knowledge for me tonight. So many things, when you're going out of the country, what you need to do, don't have to do, what to think about. Probably my top tip that Lynn gave was use one of the hotel cards in case you got lost, you needed to have a taxi driver help you back to the hotel, just things that might happen. Oh, yes. My brother was telling me about this. So that a lot of times when guys are flying, right? Especially in the Midwest, a lot of them carry pocket knives in their pocket. Well, you can't get on the airlines with that. So they're going to take it. So Jerry says that if you look just before where you go through the screen in the plants, you can find knives in there because people put them in there. And then when they fly back in, they take them back out and take them home. I just thought it was so funny. And I said, now, every time I go through a security check and there's a plant right by there, I'm going to have to look. But it makes sense because you don't want, you want to put it someplace. Otherwise, they're collecting all those. Totally agree, Diane. The hotel card is a phenomenal idea. Yeah. I always take prescription meds on carry-on case in case I lose my check bag. That's a good idea. And I would guess that when it's, prescribed by a doctor, that they have to let you have them. Because what if you had a really long flight? One time Stephen one of our boys flew from Hawaii over to Europe. There was one stop. And, what if he had to have medicine? You'd have to be able to have it on. But it is already 42 minutes. Good discussion. I appreciate you guys' all your input. That was just fabulous. And, of course, I have Monday Night Live, and I will put up on the community tab the pictures of my 3 pieces that I'm putting in the fair tomorrow. And I'll let you know next Friday if I won anything, because they have cash prizes on some of the things too. Besides, you get ribbons. I got ribbons hanging over there from the fair last year. But everybody, thank you so much. I really appreciate all your help always. 143, I love you guys. And Teresa, thanks again for all those gifts that you sent today. Well, you sent, but I got them today. So I appreciate it. Thanks, Lynn. And I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. This weekend, look for something special. God has a way of surprising you. Everybody, I will see you next time.